No, no, no! This can't be! How did it sell? What am I supposed to review now? Late Master DX is all sold out! Oh hey, I'm just looking for the next game to review, but the game I wanted was all sold out, so I'm not sure what to do. Oh wait! Cars on the PS2. Surely this will make for a great video. Hold on. Hello? Who's this? What do you mean Cars on the PS2 sucks? How dare you? Wait, you're telling me that you've got a game better than Cars for me to review? Alright, fine. I'll come take a look at it. So you're the guy?
Yeah, I'm the guy.
So what do you got for me?
I got you some good stuff, don't you worry about that. I got you a game that I reckon you'll like, Sonic Heroes.
Nah, that's alright mate, I've already got that one. Just reviewed it.
You got that one, that's fine. How about a bit of Bust a Block?
Bust a Block? That's not my kind of game.
What your kind of game? Okay, I'll tell you what. You look like a sporty geezer. How about This Is Football 2002?
This is Football 2002?
Yeah.
I think I've already got 8 copies of that one.
You got 8 copies? Okay, well, I mean, I've got something else, but very expensive, very good game though. Persona 3. Fez.
Persona 3?
Yeah, you
I think this will be.
like that one? You like that one? Okay, that's £100.
Sorry, what?
£100.
Come again?
£100. I told you that's an expensive game.
Just look at the time. I've got to get going.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait.
Okay, he was asking £100 for this game. Surely it must be worth committing theft for. What we have here is the 4th installment in Atlus's Persona series. No, I'm serious. Persona 3 is the 4th in the series. This is because they split the second game into 2 separate ones. That's definitely one way to make more money. Split them up into 2 games. See where Harry Potter got the idea from. Originally released in 2006, it sold fairly well, considering the PS3 was just around the corner. You may have heard of the Persona series, since Persona 5 blew up when it first came out. Nobody even considered Personas 1 through 4, but now everyone knows about it, and you know what that means. Yeah, this isn't the easiest game to get a hold of now. I'm just grateful that the guy let me have it for free. The Persona series itself is a spin-off of the larger Shin Megami Tensei series, which has been going on since the late 80s, which itself has a new game coming out on the Switch soon, which is pretty cool. I know there were other versions of Persona 3 released, but this one is the expansion to the PS2 release with more content, so it's arguably the best version. So is this game worth its obscene price tag? Well, let's find out. But before we start, let this serve as a reminder of how long this game is. Yeah, this is a long game. The game opens up with a cutscene showing off the characters in the game. Like all anime opening cutscenes, it doesn't make much sense, but I guess it doesn't have to. It just has to get you excited to play. After starting a new game and choosing the difficulty, we are shown a cutscene of our main character walking down a street and boarding a train. Once he gets off, the city gets hit by a power cut, and the main character just doesn't seem to care. Even though the sky is green and there's coffins on the road, he just carries on with his day, or night if you will. Finally, he reaches his destination, and who's there to greet him? Why, a small boy of course. He asks us to put our name in a book, and after much thought, I decided on Shelly Hiko. Shelly, I feel, is very self-explanatory. What about Hiko? Well, that stands for Heavily Irate Kicking Kangaroos Online. What does that look like? See for yourself. So once we've entered our name, a girl yells at us from across the room, and she tries pulling a gun on us. Fortunately, a different girl stops her. She introduces herself as Mitsuru Kirijo, and explains that we'll be living here for the next year. The other girl is Yukari Takuba. She'll be in the same class as the main character. Oh, that's right, we've got school the next day. Everyone hates school, am I right? But before then, Yukari shows us to our new room. She asks us if we've noticed anything strange on the way here, and of course we can only say no. But that's not important. We have school to deal with. The next day, Yukari shows us to our new school. It's built on an artificial island and it's one of the largest buildings in the city. We meet our new teacher, who looks very similar to Yukari, but there's no relation, I'm certain. In our new classroom, we meet a fellow classmate, Junpei Iori, who is keen to give us a real friendly welcome.
I'm Junpei Iori. Nice to meet you. I transferred here when I was in 8th grade. I know how tough it is being the new kid. So wanted to say, hey, see what a nice guy I am?
Once the school day is done, we are back to the dorms, where we can either go bed or get a drink at the vending machine, entirely up to you. Wow, they have Cholo Mist? We also witness a conversation between Mitsuru and a confident looking student in regards to something called apathy syndrome. It's been all over the paper.
This isn't a game, Akihiko.
So what is it then? After another day of school, we are introduced to the chairman of the school, Shuji Ikutsuki.
Your school? Ikutsuki. Hard to say, isn't it?
Well, not really. Ikutsuki mentions another student who lives at the dorm, Akihiko Sanada, aka the confident looking student. He also wishes us a successful school year. Then what does he go and do? Well, spy on us of course. Yukari and Mitsuru join in too. I guess they can't get enough of the blue hair or the silent demeanour. Well no, it's actually because they want to see how we handle during the dark hour. For you see, the dark hour is a space of time between every day, where people get turned into coffins, but since we don't, it's a question to whether or not we have the potential. Meanwhile, we're dreaming of being transported to a blue room, aptly named the Velvet Room, because velvet is definitely blue, isn't it? There are two people inside, Igor and Elizabeth. They explain that where we are exists between mind and matter, and he shows us the contract that we signed when I chose the name. He also gives us the Velvet Key, which allows us to come here whenever we like. Another return trip from school later, we're straight to bed, and they just can't get enough of spying on us.
How is he?
The same as last night.
But it's cut short by Akihiko. He says it's huge.
Akihiko?
You're not gonna believe this. This thing is huge.
Yep, no doubt. This has to be the largest tennis ball I've ever seen. Suddenly, the dorms are shaken by a mysterious monster. Yukari wakes us up and we run straight up to the roof. It's a shame she doesn't let me grab another Cholo Mist though. Once we make it up to the roof, we are cornered by the monster. Yukari tries dealing with it, but she fails. So then it's our turn. We pick up the gun and... Dude?
Persona.
Thou art I, and I am thou. From the sea of thy soul I cometh. I am Orpheus, master of strings.
What we just saw there is the birth of a persona, another self. This specific one is called Orpheus, and it just annihilated that thing. That's right, you just sit there and watch. That's what you get for not letting me grab my Cholo Mist. Once we're done with the smaller monsters, which are called shadows by the way, we collapse. Nah, just kidding. We wake up a few days later in the hospital. Yukari explains that there was nothing wrong with us. She also claims that we're sort of similar. Well, yeah, I guess. We're about the same age, but that's about it. Oh, what she actually means is that she lost her father, just as we've lost our parents too. She tells us this since she didn't feel it was fair that she knew all about our past. You know what isn't fair? You don't let me have my Cholo Mist. Okay, that's the last time I'll ever mention Cholo Mist, I swear. Anyway, the next day we're discharged and sent straight back to school. On a Saturday no less! Yukari tells us to go to the 4th floor after school, where Ikutsuki formally welcomes us as a member of SEAS, or the Special Extracurricular Execution Squad. This means that we get our own fancy gun, or as the game calls it, an evoker, which allows us to summon the persona. That night we're visited by the mysterious boy from earlier. Get used to him, he appears throughout the whole game. He's a real pessimist too, claiming the world is ending. Don't remind me. But it isn't all doom and gloom. Look, the class clown Junpei is joining C's too. Akihiko found him crying by a bunch of those coffins, so he moves into the dorms, which begs the question, where was he living before now? Akihiko now feels like it's time to start exploring a place called Tartarus, which good old Junpei says sounds like toothpaste.
Tartarus? What's that? Sounds like toothpaste.
I mean, he has a point, but I bet Junpei wasn't expecting Tartarus to be the school. I wish my school did that. So this is Tartarus, a massive maze that replaces the school every dark hour. It's where the shadows live, and where we'll be spending lots of time grinding for those oh so important experience points. Our first time inside alerts Igor, where he tells us that we can wield more than one persona at a time, which is something the other C's members can't do. We explore only a small fraction of it, before Mitsuru tells us to leave. The following day we discover that Mitsuru is actually the student council president, which I'm sure will be important later. We also discover that the local police captain is selling teenagers weapons and armour. Now you may have noticed that number in the top right corner of the screen. Well, that is actually how many days you have until we have to deal with a boss battle, so until then we're free to do what we want. So when the moon is full, C's discover a large shadow occupying a monorail cart, so it's up to us, Yukari and Junpei, to sort it out. However, once we get on it, the door slams shut and the thing starts moving, only leaving us a few minutes to get to the boss shadow and take it down. But Junpei, our knight in shining armour, decides to chase it down. We eventually take the shadow down. But we still have to stop the cart. Which lever is it? Let's go with this one. Oh damn it, I picked the wrong one. Nah, I'm messing. We actually chose the brakes and all is well. For now. A few days later, C's find out that a girl was found collapsed by the school gates. Since nobody is sure of the reason why, Junpei pins it to a ghost story. Since that obviously isn't the case, the group decide to investigate around the school and collect their findings at the end of the week.
But why did the rumors spread so fast if this was the first time anything happened? The victims are in different classes, and they don't seem to be connected. However, they did have one thing in common. What was it?
The results of this culminates into Yukari staging a field trip to a shady part of town, and this time, Junpei objects for obvious reasons. Okay class, we're going on a trip to the back alley behind the stores. Hey, why are the scared faces? We're ready to be there for 50 minutes to study the area. Everyone had signed these non-suit contracts. To say we're welcomed with open arms would be a complete lie. In fact, Yukari took so much trash about them, the people there have a really good idea.
We'll post some pictures that'll make her daddy cry.
Huh, well joke's on you, her dad's dead. Things start getting tense, but Akihiko's old friend Shinjiro comes to save us.
That's enough. They didn't know what they were getting into. I'll make sure they leave.
So what did Yukari's great adventure achieve? Well, nothing really, unless Junpei getting winded is something we need. After further investigation, we finally get the full story, but remember class, I'm not an artist. There were 3 girls. One of them was constantly being bullied by the other 2, and their bright idea turned bad very quick. Why not lock her up in the gym overnight? That'd be really funny. I got locked in the gym once too. The difference was, I had to deal with dodgeballs pelted at my head. So what sounds worse to you? But if you remember, the school turns into Tartarus every night. One of the girls started getting second thoughts, fearing she would commit suicide, so she tried rushing back to the gym, but she never came back and ended up by the gates the next morning. It's been said that before each of them went missing, they heard a voice calling them to Tartarus. This definitely confirms to Cease that Shadows called them in. Because of this, Natsuki is sent to our dorms, since it is the safest place, and Cease go to the school at night to try and get Fuka out. So once we skulked around the school for a while, we find the gym key, and we wander around Tartarus for a while, and eventually we find her! She said she has managed to avoid the shadows so far because of the special ability she has. So as we're making our way out, we find... Wait, what? No, really, it was two shadows, two large ones at that. Natsuki gets possessed by the voice that called her friend in, and so wanders into Tartarus. Which means it's time for Fuka to summon her new persona.
Wait! That's not a weapon!
I know.
After we defeat the shadows, Fuka shares a nice chummy moment with her friend. It's fine, Natsuki, honestly. You only locked her up in the gym for over a week, but nah, don't worry about it.
Are you alright? Yeah. Thank goodness. Fuka?
Once she recovers, she officially becomes part of C's, acting as a support role.
Some time to think about it. I'll do it. I'll help you.
All of a sudden, we're watching three mysterious people perform a hit on a teenager from the shady area, claiming someone wanted revenge on him. Damn, sure on our way home from school, we find Hikari and Fuka playing with a dog. He used to belong to a late priest, and so he's usually found in the area. And so the next full moon battle takes us to a hotel, where shadows have been tearing the place up. Sadly, they're finished short-lived after we show up.
Faster than I expected. That was quite a show.
Great. A few days go by when Akutsuki calls a meeting at the dorm, but Yukari uses this time to ask Mitsuru about an incident that occurred 10 years prior, when a massive explosion near the school resulted in mass absences of students, much like what happened to the people bullying Fuka.
Port Island must have been an ideal location for them. It was a highly populated area, and the Kirijo group had influence there. They could do as they pleased. As you guessed, the experiment 10 years ago was conducted at Gekukan High School.
Mitsuru explains that her grandfather became obsessed with shadows. He gathered a team of scientists, and after harvesting many of them, his lab exploded, resulting in the creation of Tartarus and the shadows too. These shadows combined into 12 larger shadows that appear on every full moon, and if we destroy them, Tartarus and the Dark Hour should disappear.
Then if we defeat them all, Tartarus and the Dark Hour will disappear? Exactly!
Because Mitsuru's family runs a lot of things from the city, from the mall to the school, that means they essentially run a lot of it. Now what does that sound like? Oh yeah. Eager to get more insight into the matter, Mitsuru requests that Fuka hack into the Kirijo group systems.
This encoded. Gigabyte of RAM should do the trick. We're in. Alright, what do we got?
But what's the school without exams? Well, let me tell you, that would have been a school I would have went to. Too bad that isn't in this game. We now have a bunch of exams based on the teacher's lectures. Have you been paying attention? But the chairman has an idea that we all go on holiday to Yakushima, a small island off the coast of Japan, once exams are over. Only a few days till we go on holiday, but before then, we are introduced to another student, Ken Aragaki, who will be living in the dorms throughout the summer. I'm sure we'll be seeing more of him.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Ken-kun. What's up?
Awesome! There it is! Yakushima!
Come on guys, why are you looking so glum? We're on holiday. We We are greeted by the maid of the Korean holiday home. We get to see Mitsuru's father for the first time.
It's good to see you.
His father explains what happened when the lab exploded. His father wanted to create a time machine to eliminate unwanted events before they occurred. During the blast, one of the scientists managed to record a testimony of the experiment.
I am to blame for this. I knew the risks, but I was blinded by the promise of success, and so I didn't raise any objections. It is all my fault.
Huh? Dad?
We have to go sort it out. But we didn't come here to establish family relations and learn about the dark history of the Kirijo group. We came here for the beach.
Feeling no pressure, but appears in the media. Getting it's a trap!
The operation ends in failure, but Junpei manages to find one last chance to score. Of course, Junpei fails immediately. Akihiko does too. But then it's our turn, and what happens? She runs off without saying a word. We find her in the forest, and things escalate rather quickly. But the rest of Seas come to save the day.
Who's this?
Ikutsuki explains that this guard is Aegis, a robot designed to destroy shadows. Poor Junpei got his hopes up.
She's so cute, but she's a robot.
Parallel to these events, Shinjiro is seen given a bottle of pills by those three mysterious hitmen. However, they want information on what Seas have been researching in exchange. They're absolutely horrified when they realize our intentions is to eliminate the Dark Hour.
Why would they do such a thing? With the power they have, they wish to destroy the Tower of Demise as well?
We'll return to the dorms soon enough, with a new asset to the team. Now, do you remember that dog from earlier? Well, it turns out there's more to him than you think. Seas discover a defeated shadow, and curious as to how it happened, they decide to check it out. It was the dog, or Kurumaru, that defeated it. Such a good dog he is. Better yet, Aegis can communicate with.
He says, "This is a place of peace, so I protected it."
I guess I won't be needing my dog-to-human communication kit anymore. We learn the mysterious boy is named Pharaoh, and once again he warns of another dangerous battle. Before we know it, it's a full moon once again, and this time we find ourselves at an abandoned military underground base, and look who it is. Their names are Jin and Takaya, and these people are part of a group called Strega, and they're obviously going to fight us. Oh no, they just lock us in.
Have fun in there.
So now we're trapped, not like it matters, because we still have to deal with the shadow anyway. So once we're done with that, Ikutsuki manages to get us out, and Strega retreat. After this, Kurumaru becomes an official member of Seas, since he's able to summon a persona himself. While the summer holidays go on, Junpei finds himself wandering the city and, probably dissatisfied with the results of Operation Babe Hunt, decides to strike up a conversation with one of the members of Strega, but he doesn't know that's who she is, since she ditched her friends at the military base. Turns out she's into drawing and giving the guy the cold shoulder. But come on, he says he's the leader of the group. Despite that, he keeps talking to her anyway, and we finally get to see what she was drawing. Blood?
But you're bleeding, for crying out loud.
Yeah, weren't expecting that, were you? But as any self-respecting Strega member does, she just shrugs it off, but at least we get to know what her name is.
Chidori.
Huh?
That's my name. You asked, right, Junpei?
We get to see more of Ken as he eavesdrops on a conversation between Shinji and Akihiko. It seems that he wants Shinji to return to Seas after a terrible accident caused him to leave. Because of this, Ken volunteers to become a member of SEAS since he too can summon a persona.
Actually, I asked to join. I believe I can be of some assistance. Now, I finally know why I was given this power.
I hope you weren't missing Igus too much, because she'll be attending school with us for the new term.
Humanoid tactical weapon? What on earth?
Okay, who put this on here? Real funny! Once class is over, Akihiko requests that we accompany him into speaking with Shinjiro yet again. However, this time he is successful in convincing him to join SEAS again, which was the best thing to do, right? Oh, would you look at the time. It's a full moon once again. Junpei finds himself in hot water for not showing up at the dawn for the full moon operation. So where is he? Surely his friendliness towards Chidori doesn't see him wind up in danger. Oh wait, that's exactly what happens. She merely asks him to cancel the full moon operation, since you know, he told her that he was the leader. But sadly for her, the boys are back and we're not messing around this time. Damn right, the shadow doesn't stand a chance against us, and we go and rescue Junpei. But Chidori tries something fishy, but Junpei finally uses his head and stops her.
Chidori, stop!
No! Give it back!
SEAS take Chidori for questioning, but she is as silent as the 1920s movie industry. That is, until we mention her evoker.
Give it back to me! I want her back!
All of a sudden she's up in arms, furious that she can't summon her persona anymore. Okay, like what did you expect to happen? You whip out your gun and they're all like, yeah, go ahead, make our lives harder. Pfft, no. Not yet anyway. But that doesn't matter, because it's full moon o'clock. But this isn't any ordinary full moon. It's the October 4th full moon. This time Ken and Shinjiro decide to ditch, and it's up to us to take the shadows down. And if you think we lost to these ones too, well, you thought wrong. Meanwhile, Ken and Shinjiro are having what I assume to be a nice conversation about life.
2 years ago today, October 4th. That was the day my mom died here. That's why I decided that I had to find her killer. You!
Ken wants revenge on Shinjiro for killing his mother. Shinjiro left SEAS because of this, and Ken isn't going to let him get away with it.
I'll make you remember what you did to her! I'm gonna kill you!
But guess who shows up right on cue? Why, Takaya, of course.
He is correct.
He tells him that there isn't much time until they're both destined to enter the ethereal plane, and Takaya, being the nice guy that he is willing to do the honours. But before he does that, he wants to know how SEAS are able to locate the full moon shadows. Ken tells him that it's him doing it, not like it matters. Takaya's going to kill him anyway. However, Shinjiro gets in the way of Takaya's bullets.
Shinji! How very disappointing.
Shinjiro-senpai!
What's with a long face? Isn't this what you wanted? It's all right. This is how it should be.
SEAS is down a member, and everyone is at a loss for words. The school commemorate his passing with an assembly, which Akihiko is surprisingly absent from. Instead, we see him later on in the day, privately consoling himself. After he realises that he got caught up in being powerful, and that he was oblivious to everything around him, he decides to avenge the death of his friend, and his persona changes as a result.
I know that much. I can't carry this guilt forever.
Back at the dorm, everyone is shocked to find out that Ken is missing.
In his room.
He's not? There are indications that the window has been pried open.
Akihiko reassures everyone that he knows what he is doing, however. Akihiko finds him at the place where Shinjiro and his mother died. He tells him to do what he wants, even if that is to stay in the same place until he dies. Instead, he commits to avenging the death of his mother and Shinjiro too. This realization causes his persona to change.
I'll be okay now, Mom. Goodbye.
Many days go by, and Fuka gets a rude awakening. Her friend, Natsuki, is leaving.
After I transfer. Thank you. How's that? Transfer?
I didn't get Fuka. Her bully is leaving, and she's all upset.
The biggest bitch in the school is leaving, and you feel sorry for her.
Yeah, even the game agrees. They talk for a while, and once she leaves, Fuka is determined to make sure that her friends are always happy, and in doing so, her persona changes.
After all, it makes me happy to see everyone else happy too. So, I want us all to remain friends. The power to connect people even when they're apart. My persona has given me this amazing gift.
Our old friend Pharos returns, telling of the final shadow and how he wishes to see us again once it's all over. Days go by, and eventually it's time for the final full moon operation to all come to this. This time we are sent to the Moonlight Bridge. However, Mitsuru warns that Strago will definitely be back to confront us, and this time is no exception.
There's no cure for stupidity.
So why do you keep coming back? You've clearly seen we're too powerful for you. After a swift beatdown, they admit defeat. And what do? Well, they jump off the bridge, of course. Fine for us. Now we can do what we came here to do. Come on, how could you do that? Alright, you're going down. Told you. Now that all the shadows have been defeated, the Dark Iron Tartarus should be erased soon. It's time for a celebration and everyone is invited, even Mitsuru's father.
We've been waiting for you.
Before then though, Pharos speaks to us again, saying that this is the last time we'll see him. Oh no, I wonder where he's going. We spend the night having a feast at the dorms. Junpei checks his phone, saying that it's almost midnight. What? But all the shadows were defeated. What the heck's going on? Well, turns out someone's been lying to us. And of course, it was the chairman himself.
Utsuki-san!
I guess? Why are you here?
He lied to Seize to get them to do what he told them to do, going as far to edit the recording of Yukari's father at the lab. He announces that by defeating the 12 shadows, the end of the world is certain, as the Appraiser will come down onto Tartarus to welcome death itself, but in order to do this, sacrifices must be made.
The time has come for you to fulfill your role. Capture them and prepare them to be sacrificed.
Understood.
Aigis is being controlled by the remote, and Akutsuki is using it to ensure his plans are unfaltered, but sadly for him, Mitsuru's father comes trapped.
I'm not like your father. I won't make any exceptions. I guess we will end this. Execute the sacrifices now.
Finish them, I guess. You don't get it, do you? This useless, pathetic world will gradually fester over time. Only its destruction can bring about its salvation. I was so close.
Seas hold a meeting to discuss what to do, since they have no idea on how to deal with the Dark Hour. Fuka also manages to give Yukari a video from the chairman's old hard drive. The video is the original recording of her father, before Akutsuki altered it. Discovering the truth of her father's intentions causes Yukari to gain her new persona.
Are you listening, Dad? I'm doing okay. It took a while, but I finally got your message. I'll fight for what I believe in. That's what you would have wanted. Right, Dad?
Junpei has been visiting Chidori in the hospital these past few days. They've been getting along quite well, but suddenly she tells him to stop coming. Damn, you know what that means? Days pass, and there's another new student in the class.
My name is Ryoji Mochizuki. I would be grateful if you could show me the ropes.
And for whatever reason, Iris just hates him.
You are dangerous.
Later on, Yukari finds Mitsuru on the rooftop. The school vice president asked Yukari to look for her in regards to the school trip. School trip?
Senpai, you better get back to the meme.
So where could the school trip be? Kyoto, of course. The group arrived there at the Godaigo Inn and will be spending the next few days there. We tour the city the following day, but Mitsuru was notably absent. Instead, we find her at a riverbank. Yukari finds her there too. Mitsuru seems doubtful that they should continue to be friends now that she has lost a reason to fight, as she became a persona user to protect her father, but Yukari isn't having any of it.
But my efforts were futile, and now my life is without meaning. Right?
Damn, look at those hair physics. I could watch all day. Yukari helps Mitsuru see a new reason to continue fighting, to fulfill her dad's final wish of eliminating the Dark Hour. This realization changes her persona.
There's no need to worry, Father. I am not alone, and I'll never look back again. Please watch over me.
And we return to the dorms, but we're about to get a nasty surprise.
What the?
Damn, that's terrible. I hope they have insurance.
There is nowhere for you to go. You must come with us. Death.
Strega just can't get enough of meddling with us. Chidori decides to hack the mainframe and tells us to come fight her.
I can't stand the sight of you all anymore. So I've decided to do something about it.
Obviously Junpei tries his best to change her mind, but to no avail.
Out!
Wow!
But do you think Seas will let this incident slide? Of course not. Strega show up right on cue, and they aren't going to let us get away with this. So what do they go and do?
Look out, Junpei!
No, Junpei, don't go! We had so many good times with the boys. What?
Junpei-kun!
Chidori sacrifices her life for Junpei, and he isn't going to let her die in vain.
What?
Aigis is still concerned about Ryoji, and she decides to do something about it.
What is this uneasiness?
But why did Aigis consider Ryoji dangerous? Well... 10 years ago, after the explosion, Ryoji fought with Aigis, but she knew she couldn't win, so she sealed him within a boy standing nearby. That boy will return here, as us. That boy, Ferris, was really Ryoji. He lived with us for 10 years, and emerged once the 12 Shadows were defeated.
It doesn't have to be that way.
I am sorry. I have failed. A machine is worthless if it cannot fulfill its purpose. I'm sorry.
Gee, wasn't Ryoji a nice guy? I sure hope he isn't the appraiser that Akutsuki was going on about.
Ryoji, you're the appraiser? And you were inside him?
God damn it. We take Ryoji back to the dorm, where we ask him more questions. He talks of Nyx, a being that will bring death to the world if it is awakened. He also says that Nyx can't be defeated, but Junpei has the right idea.
That's
Baba Booey.
Ryoji says that we are able to die peacefully if we kill him.
Lives. You'll have to kill me.
So we can either kill Ryoji and forget everything about the Dark Hour, or we can keep him alive and have a chance of fighting Nyx. We have until December 31st to come to a decision.
December 31st, New Year's Eve, to think about it.
They're not going to let Nyx kill us without a fight. Aigis was at the lab getting repaired, and when she returns to the dorms, she asks that we kill Ryoji, as she doesn't want to see the group suffer during the lead up to the fall. She feels that she doesn't need to exist anymore, as she can't defeat Ryoji, but C's managed to give her a new reason to keep on living, and in doing so, Aigis is So now it's time to get ready to fight Nyx. You'll be in Tartarus for a while getting those levels up, and before you know it, Ryoji returns hoping we've made the right decision, but according to him, we haven't, and so he shows us his other form, which is supposed to sway us in the other direction.
See? I'm not human. I will bring death to this world until I am finally satiated. Do not hesitate to kill me.
However, our decision remains the same, and Ryoji tells C's where and when they can fight Nyx.
She'll be at Tartarus. You must reach the top of the tower before the promised day.
When's the promised day?
Exactly 1 month from tomorrow. January 31st, 2010. Nyx will descend to Tartarus, and the world will end.
It's no easy battle, so be sure to stock up on healing items from them all. Also, be sure to tie up any loose ends, because once you enter Tartarus for the last time, you won't be able to leave. The city descends into chaos after Strager start a doomsday cult based on Nyx's arrival. Before the fight, the group decide to meet at the school rooftop on graduation day.
When the Dark Hour vanishes, our memories might not disappear right away. So we shouldn't plan to meet too soon after the battle.
Are you really so desperate to die that you will stand before the almighty Nyx?
Stringer, get lost!
Death is but a blessing.
We make it to the top of Tartarus and the Oppressor descends to meet us. There's no turning back now.
Let's win this! I know we can do it!
Once the Oppressor is defeated, it leaves and Nyx itself prepares for its arrival.
The moon! What is that?
This can't be real.
Soon it will descend upon us. Upon us all. What is that? Some kind of event? Is it built?
Look at the moon! It's glorious!
It's just as the prophecy foretold!
The end of the world! It's really here! Everything they said was true!
Sea succumbed to its power, and when it seems all hope is lost, we are sent back to the Velvet Room, where Igor grants us with a special power we can use to take down Nyx. We're so close now. The final fight. We're definitely gonna win.
I will.
Justice to the man with no life.
It's the last day of school. It seems everyone has forgotten about their experiences with the Dark Hour. They even forgot who Aegis is.
Dude, she's pretty cute. How come I never noticed her before?
Speaking of Aigis, she visits our room. She remembers everything and reminds us of the promise we all made, so we both wait at the rooftop for everyone else to show up. At the school assembly, everyone else is listening to Mitsuru's speech, when suddenly...
Wow, that's rare. I've never heard her stumble in a speech before.
It's a big day. Must be tough thinking about her father.
I remember. Yes. With my father's death, I lost my purpose in life.
Hang on. Wasn't I supposed to?
Akihiko-senpai. What's up? Promise.
And we have promised to never lose hope, no matter what tomorrow may bring.
Senpai, we made a promise. Let's find him. And I guess too.
Yes, I can hardly wait. Everyone, let's go!
I realize now that I have friends as well. You don't have to save the world to find meaning in life. Sometimes, all you need is something simple, like someone to take care of. I'll keep on living no matter what, so that I can protect you. Thank you for everything. You must be tired. Please, get some rest. I'll stay right here with you. Soon, all your friends will be here by your side. Don't worry. I will always be by your side, protecting you.
So that was Persona 3. Overall, I thought that the story was very engaging. The twist the game throws at you, like Akutsuki manipulating seas, and the tough decision to keep Ryoji living so that we could fight next, is one of the most memorable parts of the game. Not to mention the relationship between all the seas members. It didn't feel forced, and everyone felt like part of a big team, rather than just a random group of high school students. Still, this is a game after all, so there are some other game elements that we need to go over. Personas are a big part of this game. As you progress through Tartarus, you collect a vast amount of personas, take them to the Velvet Room and Eagle confuse them into stronger ones, and this is something you should be doing constantly to ensure that you keep up with the bosses. The other Velvet Room attendant, Elizabeth, will sometimes give you requests throughout the game, which can net you some worthwhile rewards, but there's another way to get your persona stronger, and that's through your social links. What are they? I'm so glad you asked. Social links are an important part of the game. They are formed with various people in the city. There's a total of 22 social links you can make. You can increase their levels by spending time with them. The higher the rank, the stronger a persona of that social link will be. If you're able to take a social link to its maximum level, you'll be able to create a special persona. However, if you neglect your social links for too long, they can become reversed, which means their benefits will go away. It's recommended that you spend as much time with them as possible, so your personas get crazy strong. You won't be able to get very far if you don't know the basics of combat. Persona 3 utilises a turn-based fighting system, so you do your moves first, then the enemies do theirs. Every persona and enemy has a type attributed to them. Some work better on others. Fuka can tell you what an enemy's weakness is, and so if you're able to exploit that weakness, you get another turn. But if the enemy finds your persona's weakness, they'll get another turn, but you can switch personas mid-fight to help avoid this. Choosing the right team for the battle is important. Since you can have 3 other members in your team, choosing some that have constant weaknesses to an enemy attack will most definitely end badly. You're only able to choose what the main character does. You have no direct control of what the other team members do, you can only influence their moves. If a team member's health reaches 0, you're able to revive them. If the main character's HP reaches 0, then it's game over, which is very annoying. Oh, and if you're underleveled, get used to this screen. Generally the voice work is pretty good. It can sound dramatic at times, you can really hear the emotion behind their voices, but it does have its moments.
Electricity doesn't work on it!
Well, excuse me, I didn't know that, did I? Now the music. Top quality. You'll be hearing mass destruction when you're fighting.
The battle goes on, shadows on mass destruction.
You'll be hearing the Dawn theme at the end of every day. And most of all, you'll be hearing the upbeat melodies of the city whenever you're not at school. That is, until the city gets indoctrinated into believing the world is ending. There's never a bad song in the game, and it's one of the best elements of it. So is this game worth the absurd price tag? Well, if you're a devoted fan of RPGs, I would say so, but I didn't pay for this. However, there are still some flaws that keep it from being an absolute masterpiece, from the clunky combat sequences, to the endless grinding in Tartarus if you're too underleveled, and every time you die, you're straight back to the title screen, so you might as well reset. Still, I recommend this game, but don't pay the crazy amounts for it. Instead, get it on the PS3 online store for $7.99.
Ah, okay, so this is the geezer. Turns out he did review Sonic Heroes. But he ain't getting away with it. Not today, not today. Where is he? Where is he? Aha! There he is. You think you can get away with stealing from me?
No, I was gonna pay.
Nah, don't give me that. Give me that back. Don't ever talk to me again.
Is that it? You coward.
Got him.